Thursday, September 3, 2020, and it's election day in Jamaica, and I am voting for the first time. But today, I am going to be heading out to vote for the very first time during a pandemic, which is a big conflict for me because I'm a medical doctor and I believe very much in public health. But now we have an election that's already called, and then we're hearing about people's constitutional rights. Well, constitutional rights are not. A lot of people are staying home because they are not taking the risk, and I don't blame them. So whatever the numbers are for the political parties, they will just have to deal with that because them do it, them have them reasons for do it, and it's happening. So we'll see. I'm going to take the risk and put my finger in the ink and put an X beside something, and let's see how it goes. Yo, it's amazing how quiet the roads are on election day. Right now, normally there would be so much traffic to go to work, and the place is light. Keep in mind that a lot of places do close early or allow workers to vote early and then come into work, or the other way around, come into work and vote after. But with the pandemic, there's also no school. We have a chunk of the workforce working from home, and the roads look like this. Could I leave out all 10 minutes later, me that's still good. We're not complaining though, because traffic in Kingston can be not fun. Welcome to quiet roads of political pandemic. Usa natin gonya babagiti baba sitiu ganyama natin gonya babagiti baba baba. Why Lion King coming at this? Let's kick this off with a little history on Jamaican politics. We have two major political parties that have been rivaling each other for many years. One is the PNP, which is the People's National Party, represented by the color orange and the head, and the Jamaica Labour Party, the JLP, represented by the color green and the bell. For years, these two parties have gone head-to-head at each other, occasionally with another small party or independent candidates. This year, my favorite independent candidate was none other than Rohan Chong. Rohan rose from the ashes. We never saw him coming, but he had a television ad on primetime TV during news time. And you know what that means? Ching. Here's Rohan.
In Kirkvine, there are wells here. So I am going to make sure that those wells are put into action. Reservoirs are reconstructed. The Black Jump project is rolled out where we can give persons Black Jump in the area. And also, persons will get vouchers to pick up water at their local supermarket if they're living in a distant community.
All right, and funding, these kind of undertakings are enormously costly and expensive. How do you propose to fund these projects?
Well, I'll make sure we look at the budget as it relates to bringing in tourism to our area. So I am going to make money for the parish. I'm going to run it as a business. So once you make money, then you'll be able to afford this. But there's a lot of money put down all over the place that we are going to reallocate to Manchester Central and ensure that everybody has water, and then we can invite tourists in here so they'll have water to wash their hands.
All right, you're a new candidate. I take it your first time attempting representational politics. What is the support like on the ground? And on the day, what are your expectations in terms of the number of votes?
On the ground, the persons are wonderful. I feel proud to represent my parish on an international standard. Persons are giving me pumpkin. Persons are giving me juice. People are offering their support to me, morally praying for me. And I'm saying I'm feeling proud to be a Manchesterian. A lot of supporters are pushing me and giving me the motivation that they really want a change. And I think the time has come for a change. As it relates to the numbers, I love 17,000, but I'm thinking that will create an upset of about 12,500 votes.
All right. As we wrap, any final words to your prospective constituents, to the parish?
Definitely. As it relates to farmers, I'll make sure that you guys operate as a small business. That means your banking and all of your transactions that you do, it will allow you to function more economical. You will be smarter farmers in terms of the drip irrigation system that we'll put in place with the reservoir. We're applying smarter thinking with less money. So that's what I'm bringing to the table, guys. And definitely I look forward for your vote on September 3rd.
Fun fact. I just wanted you to know that the polling station that I voted at in Kingston 6 up at Mona is the same voting station that Jacqui DeFreitas and Caroline Cooper went to vote. I just wanted you to know that. Joan, look how long I ask you for the tea now, man. Come with it now. Gosh, man, it's slow, man. And mentioning slow.
So, darlings, today I went to vote. And this was the most sub-third worldian experience I've ever had in my life. I mean, I, Jacqui DeFreitas, Queen of Personage, had to go to Mona to cast my vote.
Jamaican proverb, puss and dog no have the same luck. It means that a cat and a dog do not have the same luck. So puss could have go one place and have a certain experience, and dog could have go same place and have a totally different experience. And the irony is, the Mona High polling station seemed to be that for me, because it was very different from that of my colleagues.
Yes, I'm Caroline Cooper, and I'm really distressed about how long it took me to vote. I got here at 7:02 because I stopped to email a poor woman who sent a distress letter to the Gleaner about why she wasn't going to vote. I got in the line to come in at 7:06. I got to my polling booth, my polling station, at 10 past. And I'm just coming out now, 8:30. One polling, one way you call it, one place people vote. No in or out. So you have to wait till the person vote to go in. They have to go in and come before you can go in. Foolishness. This is an ill-conceived election designed to stop people from voting. And I'm very upset.
So right now what's happening is lunch. So work just done. It's 12:19. I went to buy some lunch and I kill it right here in the car, because the last thing I'm doing is stand up in no line for 1 to 2 hours waiting to vote. Hungry. Not me. And if you know me, belly before everything else. So we're back to the island really. Then we go polling station and see how it go. You know what's interesting to me? All of this green and orange fabric where them put up about the place on the light post them and all about. What difference it really make though? Do you think that somebody is going to see these colors and change their vote? That maybe somewhere in their minds seeing the colors will influence their vote? The billboard I can do, poster I can do, we need to know who you're voting for, etc. But everything else, is it necessary though? So based on my current address, this constituency is Eastern St. Andrew, and the candidates going up were Benicia Phillips for the People's National Party and Favour Williams for the Jamaica Labour Party. So I didn't really want to be filming too much in the polling station, and it probably shouldn't. But my first voting experience was actually really seamless. I could critique it very hard based on things I would have expected. But all in all, it was really good. It took 10 minutes tops, and it could have taken a shorter time. I dip my finger in the ink, then you dip. Alright, so long and short is I came in, I went inside. When I went to my PD, I was actually next because I was the only person there. The poor the workers who were working, volunteers, were eating lunch, probably their first meal for the day, and they did confirm it was their first meal for the day at around 12:50. And so I pretty much had to wait on them to eat. And I could have created a stink, but I imagine they've been working from 7 o'clock and the lines were probably long in the morning. So I just shut up and I waited, and then when I stepped up to the table, they checked my name against the list, they found it, and she explained the sequence to me. I had to sanitize my hands, and then I had to do fingerprints, which I don't recall them advertising having to do a right index and a left index fingerprint. So that's kind of interesting. But anyway, fingerprints were done even though I had all my identifications. And she explained the ballots to me and what I should do. I put my X beside what I chose, and I came back and gave her the folded ballot, and I stuck my finger in the ink. I had to sanitize my hands before sticking my finger in the ink, and then that was it. Vote is in, and that's a wrap. But why aren't we not electronic in 2020? Why are they still writing things on lists manually, like literally creating the opportunity for error from list to list by writing things in on a list? We should have electronic voting by now, especially during a pandemic. But hey, I believe it's a personal choice to vote. I don't think anybody needs to feel pressured to vote. I think it is your right, and I think it's better if you do vote. I think the approach of feeling that both parties or whoever is running, that nobody has anything to offer, so I don't need to have an opinion, is an invalid approach. Because the truth is that there must be a better of the two worsts. There must be a better of the two evils. So pick the best, pick the better of the two, and or the best of the three, or the best of the however many, and work with it. Because at the end of the day, you live in this country and you have to exist in a space that are run by these people that you have the right to vote for. So you need to put an X beside something. This is the point where I come off of my soapbox and I tell you about how many elections I have not voted in, but I had great intentions to. I checked and looked at them, and I've actually missed 4 elections. And it is 4 because the very first one I was able to vote in may have been in 2002 or so, somewhere around there, and I didn't vote. I was in Jamaica as far as I can think of, so I probably just wasn't ready and I decided not to vote. The one after that, I was in music school in Boston, and it happened like October and the semester ended in December. I couldn't come home to vote. The one after that, I was still living abroad, and that may have been like 2011. So one was like 07 or 08, and next one was 2011, and I was still living in the US and I couldn't come home. The one after that, I registered to vote for the first time, which would be the last election, and my family friend aunt passed away suddenly, and I had to go with my mom to the funeral in Florida, and the funeral was on election day. So I had my voter's card, I was ready to go. I had to go to the funeral. So that's 3 elections that I legitimately missed, and the one back in 2002, I think I just probably never had any interest. And here we are 4 elections later, and finally I'm getting to vote. And I was very skeptical about voting in the pandemic, and actually quite annoyed with the government for calling an election during the pandemic. But as some of the memes said, the voting was safer than the supermarket. Literally, me not really touch nobody, me not brush nobody. Where I voted in my little UPT polling station, it was peaceful and not crowded, especially at this time. And I say it took 10 minutes tops. And had they not had me watch them eat, it probably would have taken 5 or 6 minutes.
And when I got there, they didn't have lines separate for upper echelonians and below the clockians. I had to stand in line like a regular person. Carlin, Cooper and I, we had to stand in line like we were regular people.
So, people, it's not a big deal. Have an opinion. Next election, make sure you vote if you didn't vote this one. And the day not done yet. Well, by the time you see this, the day will be done. So I hope you voted. If you didn't vote, make sure you exercise that right on your next election. Not trying to create a spoiler for Rohan Chong, but the 12,500 votes that he thought he was gonna get. The candidate who won from my constituency of Eastern St. Andrew was Favour Williams. And in the end, there had to be a victor. And the victor was the Jamaica Labour Party. And our Prime Minister had some really good words to say as he accepted his victory.
Our approach to receiving this overwhelming majority. It must never be that the government that emerges from this victory takes on any characteristics of arrogance, of inhumility. It must never be that the government that emerges from this victory takes the people for granted in any way. As I stand here tonight, I am obviously happy to have won, but I want to assure all of you that I do carry this burden with great consideration of the expectations of not just those who elected us, but those who are looking on us for future decision as to whether or not they will participate in the process.
Well, you see, this year win them call Kalalo. Kalalo, 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 for obvious reasons. Kalalo them say. But just to summarize, guys, I said it 50 million times. If you've never voted, please enumerate and get registered to vote. Your opinion counts. You live in this country. Share your opinion, exercise your constitutional right, and put someone in power who you think will be the best to run the country. So if you're not with it, get with it. 4 more years. Show up, show out, dip your finger in the ink.
This election is totally rigged. It's a totally fake. It is rigged. It is a scam, people. This election is totally a scam. I'm being attacked by everybody for talking the truth. It is rigged.
Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch that video. If you liked it, comment below. Let us know your voting experience if you went to vote. If you didn't go to vote, tell us why you didn't go to vote. I want you to like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell so that you can get updates. There will be more videos coming your way from my channel. This is the life of me, Inspire Edutainment. Thank you so much for keeping it locked. Blessed love. There was no tea in here, just water. I was going to write tea on it, but I thought that was corny. These bugs though. Lights and bugs, man. Lights and bugs, lights and bugs. Die. I don't want to lock the window, it's so hot. You're not dead. Okay, go on. Dead. Dead now though. I'm not an evil person, I swear.